Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today's Wednesday, August 30th. It is 6:24 right now. Market's going to open in about 6 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Just got a couple of things here to update and we should be go. All right, that's good. One last thing here. All right, perfect. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, I'll give it a few moments for people to make their way in. As people make their way in, I'm going to start market liquidity over here as we get closer to market open, of course. Two-hour. Wow. 30-minute. 15-minute. Looks like the top liquidity got knocked out already. All the top liquidity that was available pre-market. Price is pretty bullish right now. So it doesn't look like we have any upper level liquidity anytime soon. So I don't even know if we'll get any liquidity pushes today. Closest level of liquidity is pretty high up, as you guys can see. It's about 2,000 pips away. It's pretty far away from where price is currently at. I believe retail sentiment is bullish right now, so we'll see if price kind of drops down a bit and swings back up. But right now, just looking at the liquidity, closest level down below is going to be at 34,863. And the upper level is too far out. There's not even any point to look at that right now. So just looking at liquidity over here, I don't know if we'll get a liquidity push this morning. Looking over here at retail sentiment is currently 64% short. It was 65 earlier. So it's still bullish. Looking over here at the fundamentals pre-market, currently neutral. And looking over here at the technicals, obviously very bullish. So with that said, we have a very bullish bias for today so far. There's not really much liquidity here, but I mean, we'll take a look and we'll see. So today's overall bias, retail sentiment, it's bullish, 64% short. Fundamental bias, it's been neutral right now. Neutral. Plus 50 points. Short-term technicals, bullish. Long-term technicals, bullish. All right, guys, market is opening in about 10 seconds. Price is dumping pretty hard right now. I probably would be careful taking any sells here because I think price will swing right back up. All right, so market is now open. I'm going to go ahead and mark up opening price right here. Over here to our clean chart, do the same thing, mark up opening price right there. So I would look at opening price, and if price comes down, look for the correction back to the upside. Look for like a V1 variation, and then try to catch that swing back up, because that's probably what's going to happen here, since the bias is pretty strong for a buy. So here goes a clean chart. I'll come and mark up structure later once market is stabilized a bit. You can see how here price is now pushing right back up. It's kind of what we were expecting, because we did see a bullish bias for today. Looking over here at news, I think my FX book is down again. Never mind, it's on. So looking over here at my FX book, let's see, we have that's a ton of news today. So there was news at 4 o'clock. NBA mortgage applications, news at 5:15. So 4 o'clock, 5:15, 5:30. I'm gonna go and mark that up. Huge spike to the upside, just like I told you guys to look for right there. It's doing exactly what we thought, because our bias here is bullish. So if you guys are looking for a buy, I mean, the V1 came right there. There's a V1 that I just mentioned to you guys. V1 double body right there, swung all the way back up. So if you guys caught it, nice. If you guys didn't, it's completely fine. It's a little risky right here where price is currently moving, but this is exactly what I was warning you guys about. I said, price comes down, don't chase it. Look for the V1 variation or swing back to opening price. The V1 variation came up right at opening price, and then it shot up right here for the breakout. So if you guys got that, great. If you guys didn't, it is completely fine. But I did give you guys a little heads up, because we knew that overall bias was bullish. So any drop over here would have been just manipulation. So we had news at 4, 5:15, and 5:30. I'm going to go and mark that up over here on this chart. So news at 4 o'clock, which was right there. 5:15, which was right there, and 5:30, which is right there. All right, got all the news marked up, got everything pretty much marked up for the most part. ATR right now is currently at 15, so the volatility is pretty decent. I'm gonna go ahead and start marking up levels here, so we can maybe start looking for some possible entries. So there's a level there. Oh shit, what do I say? There. All right. So pretty much got a bunch of these levels marked up over here. I'm gonna get these upper levels too. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. All right, cool. So we're looking for a buy signal over here. If we can get a buy signal here, then we may be looking for a possible entry, but right now we don't have that yet. So we're kind of just waiting for that buy signal to come up and close. All right, so it looks like everybody's here. So morning, everybody. Today's Wednesday, August 30th. A lot of news today. I think there's news coming up over here at 7 o'clock. So 7 o'clock and then 7:30, news coming up. Guys, keep in mind that it's NFP week, so expect the worst. I mean, all this crazy volatility, expect like this to continue. It is NFP week. So I was kind of tempted to take the V1 earlier right here, but I decided not to take it. For one, there was a momentum signal on that candle, and then on top of that, you know, it's NFP, guys. So I can't stress it enough that it's NFP week. So just try to be careful if you guys are looking for any entries here. Last thing you want to do is really hop into something that's too risky, something that you can't really handle, right? Because unfortunately, I mean, it happens a lot. People get too excited. They hop into trades that they can't handle. They take too much risk on, take too big of a lot size. A trade it never goes as smooth as you guys might want it to be. Like you guys have noticed that before, right? you're always like hoping that something specific happens and the complete opposite happens. So just prepare for the worst, guys. You know, price goes into some massive drawdown. Prepare for it, but expect it to go in your direction as long as you take a proper entry. As long as you take an entry and there's some strategy behind it, and the strategy is proper, then it's probably going to play out. You just have to let it, you know, do what it needs to do. Problem with a lot of people is they just get too worked up with their position. So don't over leverage, don't take anything too risky, don't hop into random moves, just wait for the trade to play, and you know, it should play out perfect for you guys. And this is all coming from experience because I've been in the same position, guys, where I get FOMO and I just hop into positions for like no reason. And sometimes it works and you feel stressed about it, but it works. But you know, realistically, there was no strategy to it. So just make sure that when you guys are entering a trade, there's a strategy behind it and you're not just chasing move and whatnot. All right, so let's see what else we got over here. Rashida said she took it because it aligned with her intraday move, forgot to change her contract size and made 400. Nice work, Rashida. Hey, CJ, morning. So we're looking for this buy signal here to close, guys. Once it closes, we'll look for a possible retracement and possible entry. Buy signal still hasn't closed yet, keeps pending, but it hasn't closed yet. So there's no opportunity for entry here. Looking over here at liquidity, there's no liquidity that's close to current price. I mean, liquidity is pretty far out still, way up there, right? So once we get closer to that level of liquidity, we can take a look, but right now we just don't have that yet. So it's got to sit tight and wait for that liquidity to present itself. Same with the momentum pullback scalp. We can't look for an entry here until we get a buy signal. So let's take a look at everybody's profits so far. We have Kenny over here. He took that breakout earlier. Total profit of 4,220 for the day. Nice work, Kenny. So solid profits right there by Kenny. We have Andrew over here. Total profit of about 1,000 for the day. Nice work. Andrew took that breakout as well. So solid work right there, Drew. We got Rashida over here. She locked in 400 on her top step account. Nice win right there. All wins. And then Rashida's MT4 account, total profit of 348 for the day. All wins as well. Nice work, Rashida. All right, guys, you guys are doing pretty solid today so far. And that's pretty much all the profits at the moment. So there was only one entry that kind of set up, which was this V1 over here that came up down below. It technically was invalid because there was a momentum signal on the entry candle. So, I mean, technically it wouldn't be an actual V1. It'd be a V1 pattern because there's a double body right there. And this was kind of what we were looking for and what I was alluding to earlier when price was coming down. So this is why it's important to have a bias. You don't have to have a bias, but it's important to have it because it helps you a lot in identifying, you know, which way to trade, if price is being manipulated. Like if everything is bullish here and price comes down, it's probably being manipulated. So look for that V1 variation and it's probably going to swing right back up. So just keep that in mind, guys. You know, whenever you guys are looking to catch the correction, I feel like that's like the biggest thing. If you can catch a correction, it's almost a guaranteed win, right? And the V1 variations are how you like identify those corrections. Whether it be a V1 variation or be a V1 pattern, it's still a confluence to indicate, okay, the swing is going to happen here, right? All right, so we're still looking for that buy signal. Buy signal didn't come up. ATR is currently at 18 right now. So, I mean, it's looking good. It hasn't came up with a buy signal. So once that buy signal comes up, we'll be more inclined to take an entry. We can't take an entry until that buy signal comes up. So it's not really a big deal. We're kind of just waiting here, sitting ducks, waiting for this to play through. Price is starting to go sideways a little bit. So once a higher high has been established, I'll go ahead and mark up structure. So if price starts to consolidate right here and this higher high gets established, I'll go to this clean chart and I'll mark up structure for you guys. We don't have structure yet because price can just push up higher and just push this farther out. So until we get some confirmation, then I will mark up structure there. For right now, I'm not going to mark it up because that structure can just easily change, you know, as soon as price pushes up and establishes a new higher high. So just gotta be patient, guys. And you can see right here, there's that higher high. Look how price is pushing it up again. There's no point in me drawing structure because if I go there and draw structure, I'm just going to have to go and update it again, right? Since there's just no point. So I'm just going to sit tight, wait for this buy signal to come up. Once this buy signal comes up, I'm going to be looking for my momentum pullback scalp. We got 15 seconds left on this candle. It's a lot of time, guys. That's why I typically don't look at the candle until there's like 10 seconds left, because the last thing you want to do is be looking at the candle for like a whole minute. And then at the last 10 seconds, it just disappears, right? We're 4 seconds into the candle, buy signal closed, perfect. Now that we have that buy signal now, I'm looking for price to push up, retrace, and continue up higher. So level of entry here may be around the 1,000 mark. That's going to be our lowest level of entry. Reason for that is because momentum signal is down here. I'm not going to enter anywhere below this point. This is the lowest I'll go. So I need price to push up, retrace, and continue up higher. If it goes up higher from where it's currently at, that's fine. But I'm not going to go anywhere lower than this point here specifically. So we got that buy signal right there. As I mentioned, entry is happening at the entry is happening at the this level right here. I'll check my trade real quick. Here's on the right account. All right. I want to make sure my trader bait's on the right account so that when I take a trade here, it shows up properly. Let's see, Maddie said 63 to 64% short. Sellers are hopping back in. Andrew said getting nervous since the momentum signal took so long to come up. Hopefully a sell signal doesn't follow soon. Yeah, you know, actually, I don't mind if a sell signal comes up, Andrew. I kind of want one to come up so that we can have that, you know, just the consolidation confirmed. And then the next buy signal will be a lot better because it'll be smoother, right? So I don't mind if a sell signal comes up here and then we get a, you know, a continued pushback up. I think that would be better. Because right now, price is just consolidating, right? We have the buy signal, but price is consolidating. In order for us to get that entry, we need price to actually push up and go. For me, I don't mind if like a sell signal comes up like right here, because that'll just push price up, down, down. And then when we get the buy signal back up, I think that'll be solid, right? It'll push through like that. But I mean, there's a lot of different scenarios here that can play out. It's, you know, I can't emphasize enough. I keep reminding you guys it's NFP week. So expect manipulation. Manipulation is going to happen. So you just got to be smart and tight with the moves, right? You can't get greedy. You can't get any FOMO or any like that. You just have to wait for the perfect entry to come and then take it. So, I mean, we'll see, Andrew. We won't predict it. We'll just wait for it to happen, right? I think the main thing we want to look for is for price to break past the structure right here. You can see price keeps bouncing around that area, hasn't established yet or closed. Actually, we have 10 seconds left on this candle. So this candle is going to be, you know, the deciding factor if price continues to climb or not. So it looks like price is going to close above it. So, I mean, I was hoping price would push up a little higher, maybe to the halfway mark. Because if it closes right here, this red candle is going to be right below that black line right there. So we'll see. I mean, I'm just going to have to keep an eye on it, to be honest, because it's going to be hard to see where this ends up closing. Or I might just climb up a little more like how it's doing right now. So if this red candle closes above this black line, entry is going to be here at the 500 mark. If price closes below it, there's not going to be any entry at all. So we got about 15 seconds. Once I get to like that 5-second mark, I'll probably take a look and see a little bit closer. But right now, it's not looking like it's going to close where we need it to be. Okay, so this right here, it did not close above it. So you can see from this point right here that this was a fake out, right? I actually like fake outs because it means that we didn't get caught in that first fake out. And now in the second attempt, it might actually push through. So I like seeing fake outs because I know a lot of people are probably looking at the same thing we're doing. Not what we're doing specifically, but they're looking for structure. And structure right here is at a hold number. It's at 35,000. It's like a super hold number. Patricia said she's not liking this area. Yeah, me neither, Patricia. Not as much as I would like to like it. The ETR is kind of dying down too. It's currently at 17 right now, so it's slowing down a bit. We got about 20 seconds left on this candle right here. Again, I wanted to close like maybe around the halfway mark or higher. It's closing too low. So like at this point, any pullback is going to pull below the level. So any price to push up a little bit higher, just a little bit higher. And it did not close a little bit higher. It just ended up closing in the same spot. All right, so we'll see if price continues to push up a little higher from where it's currently at. And then again, we'll look for that retracement. You got 40 seconds left on this candle. There's no need to stare at it for like the next 40 seconds. Just wait for it to come down to the last 10 seconds and then wait for it to come down. The thing that I don't want to happen here is I don't want to get a green big candle. If we get a big green candle, it's not going to be helpful for us because it's just going to be too big and it's going to have to retrace down, right? Like this candle right here is okay. Anything bigger, I probably would hold off on this entry and wait for the next momentum. So this is fine right here. Just don't get any bigger. All right, let me see. Anything bigger than like, all right, just when I said don't get any bigger, it got fucking huge. Great. Okay, I don't know if I'll take any entries here, guys, because this candle's too big. Or it's not that big, it's decent. Okay, so if we get a retracement here, maybe I'll take it, but at this point, it's starting to get a little overextended. Man, that would have been a perfect entry too. So like we were looking for the entry right here. If the entry came up right here, that'd be perfect because we would have caught that breakout, right? That's exactly what we're looking for. Now this candle here is a little too big, so it's going to have to retrace a little bit. It's just a lot of like random, like it's just NFP, guys. NFP, we get a lot of these random movements, a lot of movements that you don't really expect. And it's like when you least expect it. Like we were hoping to get the entry right here so that we can actually catch this move, but it didn't end up playing out how we wanted to. But it's all good. It's, you know, NFP week is frustrating. I think NFP week is either, well, you guys know how NFP is. NFP is usually either really good or it's really bad. It's like never really in the middle. It's either like you're gonna have a great week or you're gonna have a choppy week for the entire week. The volatility is picking up today, so that's a good thing. This is what we were expecting. Because the week was slow Monday, Tuesday. So Monday, Tuesday was kind of slow, then it picked up today. All right, so the entry may happen right here, guys, if you guys are looking for the opportunity. It's gonna be at the 20 mark, I believe. 40 mark, actually. It's kind of high. Yeah, the entry is going to be over there at the 40 mark. Let's see.
Order rejected.
Wait, what? Oops. Or it was too high. Well, it wouldn't matter because I had to take it off anyways. Lot size is too high on that, but 30. So what I'm doing now, guys, is I'm just trading on one Top Step account. I'm not using the copier anymore because the copier was kind of off yesterday and it threw me off. I'm like, those random orders are getting closed and getting filled. I don't want to risk it. So I'm just going to trade on one account now versus the copier. Damn, look at that push right there. That thing just pushed right through, like literally all the way up. So, all right, there's no entry here, guys. Unfortunately, we got to wait for another retracement. Price never retraced back. So price did pull back right here, but it would never fill the order. Price would have to pull back, fill the order and go up, but it didn't actually pull back at all. It just kept shooting up higher. So now at this point, price is very overextended. So I'm probably not going to look for any entries at the moment. I gotta just wait for it now to kind of stabilize a bit because it's just way too high up. And there's no room for us to make entry at this point. See, this is like the frustrating thing about the strategy. I mean, it's a great strategy. The momentum pullback scalp is a great strategy. The only thing that's frustrating about it is if you're looking for an entry, and it just never fills, right? Like, for example, this one over here, this would have been a perfect entry point for us to start off the day, because that's what we were looking for. We were looking for price to push up, retrace, and then take the entry at some point down here. However, it doesn't matter because price pulled down below, so our entry would have been down here. It still wouldn't have filled. You know, sometimes the market just goes on these rips and it just never pulls back. And the thing with this here is that it becomes risky to chase it because you might get the overextension. Like, price is for sure overextended right here. So it's definitely due for retracement at this point. It's up 1,600 pips, super far to the upside. Technically the entry would have been right here, but I'm not going to mess with it. So this would technically be the entry at this point now. So the trade technically would have filled at this point, but I wouldn't have taken it because obvious reasons, it's overextended. But this would be the entry right here. So technically the trade would be running right now if you guys are following it. But the overextension is just way too far out. So I wouldn't have messed with it myself personally. So I'm going to kind of see where it's going. We'll see if it pushes back up and actually hits its TP. And it looks like it's going to right about there. Yeah. So the trade hit TP, guys. This is the entry that we were looking for. The reason why we decided not to take it was because price was overextended. It's way too overextended. You guys can see the lows right here. Price kind of pushed up very high. And it pushed through from there. So if you guys took it, I mean, great. If you didn't, it's fine. We'll wait for the next one. But this would have been the entry. So we had the buy signal right here. Trend was bullish on the pivots. Trend is bullish on the trend meter. Price pushed up, retracement right here, no entry. Price pushed up, retracement right here, no entry. Price pushed up, retracement right here. And the entry would have been at this level right here, where price would have went straight to TP. I was kind of tempted to take it when price pulled down, but that's my FOMO kind of kicking in. So I knew not to take the trade, even though the trade did hit TP. So if you guys caught it, great. If you guys didn't, it's completely fine. You know, I'm keeping discipline right now because it's not the best time to take any entries at the moment, especially with this overextension and with news coming up over here at 7 o'clock. So I want to be a little careful. We have some medium news right here coming up shortly. Let's see, Medusa, there's untouched liquidity from the 30-minute at 35.046. That might have played a part in this push up. It looks like it would have hit for 300 pips. Yeah, that could have been it. Let me check the 30-minute time frame. Oh yeah, so it looks like I missed this level right here, guys. Sorry, I missed this 30-minute level right here. So price, there was actually a level of liquidity that was right there when price was pushing up. And that's what Medu identified. Yeah, the level is right here. So you guys can see how price came back. Second touch over here, price blasted through again. Actually, no, this is pre-market. So there's actually no level here, Medu. That got hit in pre-market. Yeah, because market opened over here at 6:30. Or actually, no, this was it got hit in pre-market right here at 5:30. It came down, didn't actually push through. Second touch right here did blast through though. What happened right here at the pre-market 6 o'clock? Yeah, Maddie identified that as pre-market too. I mean, it's still a decent level, and the level still would have been relevant. But it got hit like an hour before market open. Let's see where that next level of liquidity is. Probably 1,000 more. Okay, so the next level of liquidity is going to be up here. So price continues to climb. We still have a target up top. We have a target up top, which is about 1,200 pips away. So it's not super far away. We can still reach that by today, probably. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. Okay, so we need to get a retracement. Once we get the retracement, we can look for the continuation above. So I need to get a sell signal here to come up. Then I need price to come back up and continue climbing from there. Get this NFP in. All right, we got some profits over here from Delicia. Delicia locked in 380 for the day. Nice work, Delicia. Yeah, Delicia said she took 2 entries on that push up, going to switch to demo, hit her goal of 300 for the day. Nice work, Delicia. Yeah, so as you guys can see right here, it doesn't matter what your goal is. Your goal could be 1,000, it could be 100, it could be 300. Delicia's goal here is to make 300 a day. So she makes her 300 and then she switches over to demo. So she doesn't overtrade, she doesn't revenge trade, etc. If that's your guys' problem, you should, that should be the case there. We got Patricia over here, total profit of 1,953 for the day. Nice work, Patricia. Solid profits for the day so far. We got Vincent over here. Vincent said he got in late, pulled out me at TP, total profit of 160 for the day. Nice work, Vincent. So we're looking for retracement and continuation over here. I haven't really got anything here to take yet. Hey, what's up, Aaron? How's it going? Just saw the YouTube right now. Yeah, nice. Aaron said he decided to stay up for US tonight. Yeah, no, it's crazy. I don't know how you do it, Aaron. So one of the guys right here, Aaron, he's one of the traders from, he's located in Australia. So he trades Asia and London session. So if you guys ever want to trade Asia or London, he has a good stream. He trades gold. So if you guys want to trade gold Asia London session, his analysis is pretty decent. He does exactly what I do. He trades live like I do, but Asia and London session. So if you guys are on the YouTube, his handle is Aaron Trades. Yeah, he's a pretty solid guy. I don't really like give anybody support in the trading community, because the trading community is so, if you guys have been part of the trading community for a while, you guys know that it's a very scammy space. So you get a lot of people who like sell signals and copy services and stuff like that. So I don't really associate with any other traders, but Aaron's pretty cool. He actually trades live like we do every day. So yeah, if you guys ever want to check out a stream, I think his handle is Aaron Trades. Yeah, and I'm on a stream too sometimes. Like sometimes I'll just be looking. I was on a stream for a while, but then I kind of like felt like I needed to stop because I would trade during Asia session. So it's a double-edged sword. But yeah, for you guys who do want to trade during Asia, it's another alternative for you guys to check out. All right, so we're still looking for the entry here, guys. We don't have no retracement yet. Price is pushed up. We're looking for the sell signal here to confirm the retracement in momentum. ATR right now is currently at 16, as you guys can see below. So the volatility is starting to die down a little bit. It was pretty obvious right now that volatility had died down, but there's still some movement. So I'm going to go here to the clean chart and I'm going to start marking up the structure. So I use my high-low indicator to identify where the highs and lows are, just to make things easier. So there's no guesswork here. So we got that right there. And that's pretty much the structure at the moment. I'll mark this structure up right here so that you guys can kind of see the consolidation. So market open down here. You guys can see this. Let me just see if I can make this forward. All right, so looking at this down here, this is where market opened from this low point. You can see price pushed up, consolidated a bit, pushed up higher, consolidated again. So now price is just in some straight consolidation at this point. Nice. Yeah, so Shannon said, good to know. Been getting on Aaron for this summer. Glad you approve. Yeah, no, Aaron's cool. Aaron like popped into our lives a couple of times in the past. I usually don't even bother to look at other people's streams because most of the time it's full of BS, right? Like I hate when people say that they're live trading, but then they're not live trading. They just post a video of them analyzing stuff, but they always cherry pick. Like if you guys ever look online, people say they're live trading, but it's just an upload. They typically only upload like the good live sessions, which is like maybe once a month, versus, you know, like me, I live stream every day, so I can't hide the good or the bad. It's just every day is going to be something different. And that's the way that you guys can see if someone's like really legitimate or not. But yeah, no, definitely. Shannon said that she just happened to see it and liked his streams. Yeah, no, definitely. Let's see if there's anything else here for me to look at. I mean, there's nothing going on here. So you guys can see the structure here that I drew up. Price is currently in just consolidation right now within these two zones. So if you guys are wondering how I drew up these zones right here, I just turn on my high-low indicator. I identify the zones right here, the higher high and the higher low. Typically, I only mark up the higher highs and lower lows, but there's no lower lows here. It's just a higher high and a higher low. So I drew that so that you guys can see where price is pretty much just bouncing back and forth. The thing to look out for here, guys, is the fake out. So price is pushing right here. There's a couple of scenarios that can play out. Price can either push up and continue climbing, or other scenario, price can come up, fake out right here, and come right back into this range. So we had news right there. Thanks, Maddie, for the heads up. Let me go and mark up news real quick. Maddie said news was positive. Good to know, good to know. Clean that up right there. So we're still looking for that retracement, guys. Once we get the retracement, we may have possible entry here, but we don't have the retracement yet. So it's got to sit tight and wait for that to play through. Yeah, thanks, Aaron. Yeah, Aaron said NFP week means bedtime for me. Yeah, no, exactly, Aaron. You should probably not be trading outside your session, especially for NFP, especially for gold, because you like to trade gold. So Aaron likes to trade gold during Asia and London session. I think it's better to trade gold during those times because it's not too volatile. I think if you trade gold during New York, New York is fine if you know how to trade it, but the volatility, it changes quite drastically. So if you're scalping like we are here, then gold's probably a good time to trade during New York. But if you intraday trade or, you know, kind of day trade, not necessarily intraday, but like in between scalp and day trade, then, you know, Asia might be better because it moves a bit slower. All right, we have a pretty strong retracement candle right here. We need to see if this momentum signal closes. That's what we'll be looking for. So I need this here to actually close. Once it closes down below, I'll be looking for exactly, yeah. Andrew said fake out for show. So if you guys remember the fake out that I mentioned here, it did exactly what I just mentioned, right? So I said there's two scenarios: price will either break above and continue, or it's going to push up, fake out, and pull back into the range, which is exactly what happened here. So this might be a double fake out. I mean, price could fake out up here, pull back right here, fake out, and then come back in and continue climbing, which is kind of what I'm looking for here. I kind of want the fake out to happen down here as well. Sell signal didn't close yet. It's completely fine. I mean, just expect the fake outs, guys. It's NFP week. Expect a lot of fake outs. Basically treat every day like it's Trap Tuesday. Like yesterday is Trap Tuesday. Every day is kind of gonna be like that. There's not gonna be like a smooth. Well, I take that back. Sometimes NFP is like really smooth. Like if you guys look at my profits, like if you guys ever want to see how NFP was in the past, you know, just go to the chat and then look up the first week of every month, basically. So you go to July, first week of July right here, right on the 7th, and you can just look at my profits. How were my profits that week? We had 3 wins and 0 losses, July NFP. So July NFP was not great, but we had no losses that week. You know, you go back to like June, first week of June right here. We had 3 wins and 0 losses too. So NFP wasn't great, but it also wasn't horrible. You go over to like May, first week of May, May 5th over here. It looks like I killed it during the NFP of May. So sometimes NFP is going to be really good, right? So like sometimes NFP will be really great. Like it looks like May, June, July was great. August, this month, it might not be as great because the other months were so good. So just look, you guys can use my data, my historical data here to like kind of gauge how NFP is going to be. Like if NFP is great every single month, there's going to be 1 month that's going to be crappy, right? It's not going to be a smooth month. And I think this might be one of those months where the NFP just isn't very smooth. So like, guys, I have so much data here on our Telegram. If you guys go on the Telegram, just pull up like anything that you guys want to see. If you guys ever want to see how like August, so for example, we're in the first week of September, basically, right? This is first week of September. You can go back to September of 2022, first week of September, and see how we did that time, right? So this is September of 2022. There's no surprise, right? Look at the September of last year. At the same time last year, we had a pretty crappy NFP week, right? Again, this week's kind of crappy NFP week too. We had 1 win and 1 loss or actually we had 3 wins and 2 losses for September week 1 of 2022. This is September week 1 of 2023. You guys see how the market's moving? You kind of have an idea. So use my data because, you know, you're never going to, I don't think you're going to find anybody else that has as much data as me on our trading. A lot of people don't document like I do. I've been documenting our trades for the past 5 years. So if you ever want to see how the trades are moving, like say September 2021, you just go back over there again, first week of September. How do we do that week, right? We go down over here. So for that week, we had 2 wins and 0 losses. So you guys can see for like pretty much every year, September, like the first week of September is either it's kind of slow or it's like kind of choppy. So this year, it's no different. It's the same thing. I got so much data here to pull back and just see how, you know, everything's moving that you guys can kind of anticipate how the next week's going to be. You know, now that I have that data, I didn't even realize to look at that data. I think I'm going to do that every week now. So every Monday, I'll look at like how I did the past 3 years. September week 2, I'm going to see how I did in 2022, 2021, 2020, so that we can kind of have an idea. Like if the market, if I was losing trades during that week last year, it's probably going to be moving the same way this year. Because you guys will see that the market's very similar. It just repeats itself over and over and over again. And since we've been trading live for, you know, years now, we can look back at that data. We're not just like guessing anymore. We can kind of just go back to like, okay, how is the market moving in 2022? So that we can anticipate the worst. Like if I see a risky trade, I'm not going to hop into a risky trade because I got caught in that risky trade last year. Anyways, let's see. Yeah, Randy said the way the market is moving today, a little similar to yesterday, just that we saw we got more of a bias today. Yeah, and I agree with you 100%, Randy. We do have a bias today for a buy, so that's why I'm kind of set on looking for buys here. But it is moving very similar to yesterday. You know, a lot of fake outs, kind of back and forth movement, a lot of consolidation, a lot of rangy movements. There's just nothing here for us to really eat into because there's just no direction, right? So let's see if this fake out here plays out. So look how this price is starting to climb back up. The price is going to drop down a little bit, faked out up here, faked out down here. If price pulls back into this area right here, then the fake out's been completed. And hopefully we can start looking for a buy here. If not, then, okay, so I'm going to go to markup structure right here because there's a new lower low. And there's a new higher high right here. So I'll just leave this up for now. And then I will clean this up as price continues to move along. As you can see, there's multiple structures here. So fake out right there. Fake out right there. So what I would look at for, you know, right here is I'd look for price to pull back into this area here. If price pulls back into this area, then we can expect some sort of climb. But right now, price looks like it might just sit here for a little bit. Yeah, Maddie said 67% short right now. They've been luring in some sellers. Patricia said we need Trump back to get those awesome market moves. I know, right, Patricia? That's kind of what I'm waiting for too. I'm not a Trump supporter at all, but I'm not political at all. Like I don't care who's president, but I like who moves the market. So Trump is like one of the few people who has ever moved the market. Biden doesn't really move the market. You know, he kind of falls under that persona of Sleepy Joe, Sleepy Market. Market's been kind of sleepy for like the past couple of years since Joe's been in house. So yeah, I'm not political at all, but when Trump was president, like Patricia said, market was booming. Like it wouldn't matter what happened, like market would be moving all day. So if you guys remember, one of the first strategies, a lot of you guys have probably found me from the daily entry, the daily US30 entry. The strategy still works. So Kip actually brought it to my attention when he was visiting, that he still looks at it like the daily entry still works. It just doesn't really come up as often, or if it comes up, it's super late. Right, I think so. Let's see if there's one yesterday. Yeah, so there's one like right here, the daily entry. If you guys remember the daily entry, all you're looking for is the first momentum signal after open. And Kip's been looking at it and he said it still works. I haven't looked at it myself, but you just would have to adjust your TP stop loss. So for example, over here, you don't even look at trend. See how price pushes up and we get a sell signal right here? This sell signal would be the daily entry. You probably wouldn't go for 1,500 pips. You probably just go for like 1,000 pips at this point because the volatility is a lot lower. So you can see right there, it still works perfectly fine. Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to backtrack and take a look at the daily entry works fine. You just have to adjust the TP stop loss because the volatility is not as high. When Trump was president, volatility is moving like, 2,000, 3,000 pips a day. So it would be super easy for us to cash those daily entries. A lot of you guys like that because it doesn't really require much work. You just kind of wait for that first momentum signal. And then once you get it, you kind of just ride that wave until it hits your TP. So, well, we'll see. All right, let me just scroll up. I want to see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Yeah, Samir said quite a few FVGs that made this move. Really hoping for it to retrace down. Yeah, we'll see if it continues to retrace like that. See if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Yeah, Kenny said it's going to go upside. It's going to go sideways, upways. Yeah, I mean, it's going to go sideways in both directions until it actually chooses an actual direction. Daniel's asking, anyone know the max units of unfunded Top Step is? I try to enter trades with my normal 15 units I've been using and it keeps getting rejected. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I had a rejection earlier, but it was because I put in a 30 lot. I switched from using the copier to now just one account. So the 30 didn't place, but the 15 is working for me. Or I don't know. We'll see, Daniel. We'll see how we'll see how it works. I mean, it should work. So Daniel said, so you have a brand new account, Daniel, and you're using TraderRate. Yeah, from my understanding, 15 contracts is the max, but not sure why you're getting an issue. Yeah, I'm still using Top Step too. Kenny said, well, I made my profit for today. Not going to risk taking any dumb trades. So see you all tomorrow morning. All right, Kenny, we'll see you here tomorrow. No taking naps on these live sessions. You guys remember Kenny from the other day? Let's see. No, I think so. I think Daniel got grandfathered into Sisu because he had the account before and then he got funded, so it should still work. You might want to just message Top Step directly, Daniel, and just ask them like what's going on. It just might be an issue on their end. No, it's just scroll up. So you see, I think he missed his message. His message does right there. He said he bought his before the announcement, but he just got the funded today. So he had the account. He just got funded. It's not a brand new account. So he's already had fit before. I mean, I don't know. There might be a cap on it, but you probably want to ask Top Step directly. Oh, so here's the thing, Daniel. Never mind. I know what your problem is. So they have a scaling plan. So I don't think you have to use a small lot size, and they want to make sure that you don't blow the account right away. So yeah, no, you're right. Sorry, I thought you were on a challenge too, or the combine. So they have a scaling plan. And they just want to do this so you don't blow your account, because you know what happens with a lot of people is they get funded and then they blow their account on the next trade. I'm not sure what the minimal unit is, but again, you might want to ask. I think it starts at like 1 to 5, and then you just build up from there. There's a FAQ for it on the website. Yeah, there's a chart for it. So since you're funded on Top Step, you just have to you just have to build it up. And then once they trust you and they're like, okay, he's definitely not going to blow his account, then they'll let you go back to 15, because they just don't want you to get funded. And then as soon as you're funded, you blow the account, right? It happens with a lot of people, especially with the other prop firms. They're just looking out for you because they don't want you to waste your time, right? You work so hard to get that funded account, and then now they want you to keep the funded account because they're going to make money off your trades. So. All right, so we're looking for price to, so there's a couple of things we're looking for here, guys. We're looking for price to either swing back up so that we can continue this ride to the upside, or we're looking for price to reverse. You guys can see the pivots over here are still kind of neutral. The main pivot to look at would be this red one right here. This red one is the level 4 pivot. So basically this level 4 pivot right here is going to indicate where the trend is moving. You can use the trend meter down below, but the red pivot right here, or the pivots in general, are going to be a better gauge to see where the trend is moving. So if this red pivot goes above all the other pivots and they start angling down, then the trend is going to start shifting to a sell. If price swings back up and the red pivot stays below, then we'll continue looking for a buy here. It's just up to preference. What you guys want to use. I use both. I use the pivots and I use the trend meter. Right. So the one thing that we'll be looking for is if price climbs up, we'll continue looking for a buy. If price continues to drop, we're going to look for this red pivot to cross above. And once that crosses above, the trend meter down here is going to turn red as well. So once we have that, then we can start looking for sells. Right now, we can't look for sells because price is just neutral right now. It's right in between. So we need a confirmation of trend first. 7:18 right now. There's news at 7:30. Let me check news. News at 7:30 is going to be, it's just oil news, so it's not super strong. My main concern here is the volatility, because the volatility is starting to die down. As you guys can see, ATR is currently 14 right now. It's not good. So we need it to be above 15 for us to take entries here. The volatility is just pretty much flat. I mean, if anything, price may try to come down to opening price, right? But again, the pivots here haven't shifted yet, so I would still be looking for, some opportunity here. Let's see, Vince is asking if I would have taken the V1 at 7:17. So for me personally, I probably wouldn't have taken it because the volatility is too low. I mean, I know the volatility is not, it's not one of the criteria, but it's one of the things that I would probably look at. For one, like you mentioned, the green candle is weak, but let me just go back real quick. I think the main thing for me is that the volatility is so low because it's probably not going to hit TP. So there's technically an entry right here that Vince identified for a V1 variation. Or let's take a look at the bias again. I'm pretty sure it's still bullish. So looking over here at retail sentiment, it's currently 67% short. So that's obviously bullish for sure. Looking over here at the fundamentals, they're currently up 166 points or 100 points. Technicals, I'm pretty sure, are still bullish as well. Yeah, so everything here kind of lines up, or actually, let me see. For the most part, it still lines up as a bullish bias, but for the main reason I wouldn't take it was because volatility would be kind of low from where it's currently at. Also because it's below the pivots right here, so it's starting to shift. So even though the overall bias here is bullish, I probably wouldn't want to take it. If this happened above this area over here, Vince, I would maybe take it because it's still bullish, right? But this candle over here was actually below the pivots and the trend meter was turning blue already. So with the shift right there, that's like something that I would kind of look at. It's still technically a V1 variation though. So if you would have taken it, it would have been a V1 variation. That would have been a setup. But just looking at like a couple different factors that we don't necessarily look at a lot. Like I'm more focused on this 1 minute here to see where price, moves along from. But yeah, volatility is too low. And then on top of that, the trend was starting to shift here on the 1 minute. That's kind of one of the downsides of the V1s. For the V1s too, I think it would be useful to see. I was going to say, I think the V1s could be useful to take for a 1-to-1 or a sword. Vince, I mean, I can't say for sure because I don't really apply them, but the 1-to-1s actually work better because the thing is the V1s are good, but they are kind of risky. So like, for example, I'll see if I can find an example here, but I don't see any. But basically, I would base it off the ATR. So like, say, for example, there's a V1 here. ATR is currently at 16. I mean, there's no V1 here, but if there was a V1, actually, there might be one. They're the same. It's a double weight. I would probably take this for a 16-16 so that you have better. You would have a better risk reward taking a trade like this. But again, I wouldn't take it. I mean, I personally wouldn't take it, but I probably look at like 1-to-1 or a sword for V1s because they're good entries. The only problem is that, if you get caught on the wrong side, you kind of get set back quite a bit. So I think that's something that I was looking to work at when applying the V1s. I was looking to figure out how to make it a 1-to-1 or a sword. Yeah, also, iPhone said it can be a counter trend. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. iPhone said they work on a 1-to-1, but they have to be on trend. Yeah, and I agree with you too, iPhone. For me personally, it's Martha. Yeah, are you still on vacation, Martha? And Martha was on like a nice relaxing vacation for like the past week, it seems like. She was out in Cabo. Gosh, you're back home. Nice. But yeah, like what Martha was saying, she was mentioning that the V1s work nice if you're trading the direction of the trend. So like we typically don't focus on the 1 minute trend, but I personally do because I like trading in the direction of the trend, of course. There's no shift to a downwards trend just yet, guys. You're looking for this red pivot right here to cross above all of the other pivots. Yeah, Andrew said just fill the gap from the last start of his last buy momentum. Gotcha. Yeah, so it came right back down. There's a buy signal right here, price pushed up, and then it filled it right back down. So if you get a buy signal here, you might be able to fill it right back up to this sell signal over here. So the trend meter is currently red. The pivots are not bearish yet. So remember, guys, look at the pivots over here. If this red pivot crosses above all the other ones, then we may have a sell bias at that point. And at that point, we can maybe look for a sell. Right now, at the moment, it's not confirmed yet, but we're looking for whatever we can find. We have news coming up over here in about 6 minutes. So we'll see if the news here has anything to do with the movement. And we're really just waiting. Just waiting for the setup here. There's no setup for us to follow just yet. And we're now just waiting for this to continue. Nice. Yeah, Samir said expecting price to retrace eventually to the 34,900 area, would prefer a short signal. Yeah, no, I can see that too. It can come down to this area because it's coming down to the opening price. So if you look at the clean chart over here, the blue line down here is always target. So whenever price pushes away, you can see how price never came back to this opening price yet. Price pushed away, faked out, came back below, came back further, and target price point is going to be right here at the blue line, which is opening price. So, I mean, price is still dropping, volatility kind of slowing down a little bit. Now it's picking up a little bit. Volatility is kind of flat. It looks like it's moving a lot, but it's still kind of slow. It's currently at 17 right now. So it's bounced between 16 and 17. It's moving decent, but I wouldn't say it's moving like super fast. It's just moving decent in my opinion right now. The pivots here still haven't shifted. So you're looking for that red pivot to be above a yellow. Still hasn't shifted yet. So now that we have this, I'm going to go to clean up the charts now. So I'm going to clean up the structure over here. Actually, I don't really need to clean it up. I'll just draw the multiple levels here because it helps with identifying where price is kind of bouncing to and from. Yeah, it looks like price came right back down to opening price and it blasted right through it. So the target price point that I mentioned, that blue line right there, price came down super heavy. Man, what a weird, well, I mean, it's not really a weird market, it's NFP. So this is kind of what we were expecting. So I kind of warned you guys about this in the beginning. Like, don't be surprised if you guys see some like very unusual movement because, I mean, well, this is kind of weird too, because news happened over here at 7 o'clock, right? News over here at 7 was, I believe it was positive. I think that's what Maddie said earlier. Let's see. Actually, it was mixed, Maddie. So it was actually negative. So Maddie said it was positive. Let me check for you real quick. Because so pending sales year over year is going to be worse. So it was down 14% from this here. He was probably looking at Forex Factory. Let me see real quick. Today's Wednesday. Okay, yeah. So Maddie only saw the month over month. He didn't see the year over year. So month over month was positive, but the year over year was actually negative. So the drop there was actually, this drop was expected because the news was technically negative. This one was positive, but the year over year is going to be stronger than the month over month because, you know, people want to see how the market's doing. For the specific month of July, it was currently at 0.4%. It went up not even a percent. It went up like maybe half a percentage point, but the year over year went negative. So, you know, the bigger picture here is that price would drop. Yeah, it's all good. At least now we kind of understand like where this drop might have come from. This drop probably came from the news earlier, just late reaction. News happened over here at 7 o'clock. And you can see that's when price started to turn, right? So 7 o'clock right here is when the news was released for the pending home sales. Right there, 7 o'clock, you saw it was negative year over year. And then price started to tumble from there. So this could just be a reaction to the news. It doesn't necessarily need to be random. But it could be a lot of things. It doesn't necessarily need to be just news. It can be, you know, a whole bunch of things. All right, so the fundamentals are now negative. Or we'll just change this to neutral. Negative 20. Retail sentiment, let's see where it's at now. Retail sentiment is at 67% short. I think price will correct back up. Still bullish. Let's look at the technicals here. Technicals are still very bullish as well. I mean, they came down super hard on this one candle. If you guys look over here on the 1 hour time frame, that thing came down super hard. Look at that huge candle right there. So price pushed up super hard and then it just retraced back super hard. And this can probably just retrace right back up super hard again. I mean, we'll see what happens here. But the sentiment's still very high. So we might get a correction back to the upside. Yeah, price drops so low that I have to draw more levels down here. 80. All right, so the trend is now bearish, as you guys can see. I probably won't take the sell here though. So there's technically a sell entry that is coming up right here. It's also on the news candle. Yeah, we got so many lines here on the chart. The chart's pretty messy today. Technically, there's an entry right here at the 900 mark. If anybody's looking to take it, I would consider it to be very risky. For one, it's at news price. And then for two, there's this huge candle right here that might have to retrace. So this big red candle right here, you can see that price is actually retracing. Yeah, this candle's too big. I wouldn't take this entry here. It hit TP though. So you guys can see right there was an entry that came up and it did hit TP for the sell. Price came down, sell signal, bearish trend. Price retraced on this green candle right here. The next level is right here at the 900 mark. Price pushed down, pushed back up, filled it, and went straight to TP. So I don't know if anybody caught this trade here, but this candle here was just way too big. It's not one that I would necessarily want to take because you guys have seen us get burnt from these candles before. Whenever you get a big candle like this, price is going to retrace to either the halfway mark or it's going to retrace to the entire candle. And that's not a risk I was willing to take, especially on a day like this, where we've been getting these crazy movements in the market. Of course, Nathan caught it. Nathan over here likes to take all the riskiest trades ever. Nice work, Nathan. Yeah, Nathan killed it yesterday. If you guys saw Nathan's profits, he said he was done, and then he messaged me like 2 hours later. And he took 2 more trades. Yeah, so these were Nathan's profits right here. He took 2 trades, and then he was like, "All right, I'm done." And then he came back, took more trades right here, like 2 hours later, and locked in about 5,200 for the day. So nice work, Nathan. Yeah, Nathan said it didn't close him out, so he had to close out manually. It's all good. I'm sure you made some profit on it. All right, so we got this buy signal right here. This is perfectly fine. We want the buy signal to come up, and then when price comes back down, we'll look for the possible sell. So we're going to look for that continuation back to the downside, but we do need a buy signal here to push this up. It's got to stay disciplined. I mean, if I'm not able to take any trades today, then not really going to force anything. We got Kip over here. Kip locked in a total profit of 2,247 on his first account and a total profit of 2,047 on his second account. All wins. Nice work, Kip. Solid profits right there. And I think that's it for right now. Guys, just a heads up, if you guys are going to ask me some questions, like make an effort to make sense. Like Mohammed, I don't know if you're on here on this live session, but Mohammed's been asking me for the codes. I don't know what he's talking about. He keeps asking me, he's like, "Sean, I'm from Kenya. Do you have the codes?" And I'm like, "What codes are you talking about?" He's like, "I need a trade." And he keeps asking me for codes. So I'm like, "The Kenya code, the area code?" And he said, "That's not the code that he's asking for." So now I just gave him the lyrics to Area Codes by Ludacris. If you guys know the Ludacris song, I gave him the lyrics and he still doesn't get it. So he keeps giving me his area codes. So guys, if you guys are going to ask me a question, see, because he said, because now I'm asking him to send me the codes. He's like, "Can you send me the codes?" And I'm like, "Send me the codes." And he said, "Which code?" And I said, "Area codes. I got codes in different area codes." And I gave him all these area codes. So now he's like, he thinks I'm talking about the codes that he's looking for. And he's asking me, "What codes are you talking about?" And I said, "I got the codes, the different area codes." And now he's giving me his area code in Kenya. So guys, if I'm going to mess with you, if you're going to give me some, if you're not going to be specific with me, I'm pretty sure he's heard the song before. I'm gonna give him the video now. So let me see. I'm just giving him the video so he knows that so he knows what I'm talking about. Let's see. Yeah, so I got the music video right here. Those codes. I'm sure you guys know the song. I'm trolling him pretty bad. Well, let's see what he we'll see what he says from there. Anyway, there's no entries for us right now, so I know I'm going off topic, but I'm gonna keep it going. I'm gonna see if he actually knows the song. Well, I'm pretty sure he knows the song, but we'll I'll come back to it tomorrow when you yeah, everyone's saying that I'm like trolling him, but and he's trolling me, asking me what the codes are. I don't know what the code. I know what he's talking about though. So now that I kind of thought about it, he's asking for signals. So he's asking for when he's talking about codes, he's like, "Do you have codes?" Because he asked me if I can teach him how to trade, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll teach you how to trade. Just go on the website and watch like the free videos." And he's like, "No, I want the codes." And I know he's talking about signals because he doesn't trade, but he wants to trade. So he just wants me to give him signals or like free trades and stuff. And I'm not going to do that. So if you guys ask me for something like that, I'm gonna troll you for sure. I for sure am not going to give you guys any freebies. We got a sell signal here pending, guys. All right, perfect. This is what we're looking for. We'll see where this ends up going. So let's see. We got price dropping right here. We're now looking for a sell. Let's make sure I'm not missing anything here. So we're looking for the sell signal here to close, which didn't close yet. It was about to close, but it didn't actually close. So now that we're prices down here, I'm going to go ahead and mark up structure down below. All right, so I think price will continue dropping. So you can see over here how price came down, came back up, faked out right there, and it came back down. The fake out happened right here. I like looking at these fake outs because these fake outs will kind of give you a hint of what's going to happen next. So price came down here, faked out, then it came back down, and it's now within this range. So I think price may continue dropping, but we have to be a little patient with waiting for the opportunity. We actually need the sell signal here to close. Once it closes, we'll start looking for that possible sell. But at this specific moment, we just got to be a little disciplined with waiting for this here to close. The volatility is pretty nice now. So if you look down at the ATR is currently at 20 right now, so it's pretty decent. It's not it's not really, well, never mind, I take that back. As soon as I said the volatility picked up, it's now dead. Volatility picked up for a little bit right here when price started to climb down. Now volatility is kind of dead again. I'm hoping it picks back up because it's going to need a pickup for us to have that sell signal. We're not going to get a sell signal here until this picks up. So we have a pending sell signal right here. Once this sell signal closes, it's going to confirm momentum in this direction. We have about 15 seconds left on this candle. So the candle just needs to come down like probably the last 10 seconds, and then we'll have that sell signal come up. We got about 5 seconds left here. Man, no sell signal. That's frustrating. So this sell signal has been trying to come down for like the last 4 candles now. Randy also mentioned that it's getting close to liquidity. So yeah, going back to the liquidity chart over here, price actually touched it. So price came down and touched the liquidity the first time. You want to look for that second touch. if you guys are familiar with that, we've been talking about this for the past couple of weeks. The first touch is usually the riskier one. If it comes down for a second time, it's probably going to blast right through. If it doesn't come back a second time, it's probably going to reverse. So things to look at over here is to see if price comes back down to this area. If price comes back to this area, it's probably going to blast right through it. And that's going to be something that I'm probably going to look at as well, because I'm going to see that as a good area of liquidity to, to basically snag a sell right there. Because if price comes down from this point, I'm expecting it to drop at least 100 pips. Like 100 pips at the very least. There's 3 levels down there too. So if it does drop lower, it's probably gonna blast right through to maybe the level even below that. See, we got Andrew over here. Andrew posted his profits, total profit of 2,333 for the day. Nice work, Andrew. All wins for the day. He's now done. So solid profits right there. Looks like Andrew kind of took a couple of trades that came up, kind of just took trades off the analysis and just made it happen. So solid work right there. I'm still looking for my trade for today. I haven't taken one trade today yet. It's 7:40 right now. So we have about 20 minutes until 8 o'clock. We still have a decent amount of time, not a lot of time, but we do have a decent amount. So if we get a sell signal here, I'm going to be looking for price to come down lower to hit liquidity. So we kind of have a target down here. If price comes down lower, then we're looking for price to come down and actually hit liquidity. So I'm kind of okay with taking a sell here because I do want price to come down and hit that liquidity. If not, then if price swings up, I'm completely fine with that too. I can start looking for a buy if that may be the case. So let's see. Vince is asking if I would take the V1 at at 736. 736 was right here. So I mean, I personally wouldn't take it because of the overall bias. But if I was just trading like strictly off this specific time frame, I would maybe take it. But for me personally, since I like to be very careful and very conservative, I wouldn't take it there. But I know a lot of people, like when we first applied the V1 variation, we didn't have a bias. We just traded off the specific time frame. So this here would still fit criteria. I mean, it just depends on your trading style, right? If you want to trade the original V1, like that wasn't super careful, then yeah, this would be a V1 that you would take because its price is bearish. Obviously, price is below the pivots, trend meter is red, everything kind of lines up for a sell here. But if you're trying to be careful like me, I'm a little too careful sometimes, and I use the bias here, you wouldn't have taken it because the bias was still bullish overall. The retail sentiment's really the biggest factor, but it's not super necessary. So just just keep that in mind. So there's no right or wrong answer to this. If you guys are looking at it, if you guys want to just trade off the 1 minute, like we're doing for the momentum scalp, the momentum pullback scalps, and you're perfectly fine. That V1 would have met criteria. But if you want to be careful, then you skip it. We need that sell signal. I'm just waiting for that sell signal, guys. I know Randy said we're getting close to that lower liquidity. We're getting really close to it. It's just we're waiting for it to actually come down. So there's no movement here. Price just going sideways within this range. So this is a clean chart. And as you guys can see, price is just ranging between the zones here. The volatility is pretty slow. I'm hoping it picks up a little bit so we can at least get like, an entry here. Yeah, Maddie said it can break out either way, just waiting to see which way it goes. I agree, Maddie, 100%. I mean, price can push up and we can have that correction back to the upside, or price can continue dropping and we can maybe reach that liquidity down below. But the volatility here is starting to slow down a bit. It was currently at 20 earlier. It's now down to 18. So it went from like 14, 15, 16, 18, 21, 20, 21, back down to 18 right here. The volatility is very slow. Price is starting to squeeze here a little bit. So it's likely preparing for a possible breakout. Like I mentioned before, guys, there's no need to force any trades here. Just look for, I mean, you just have to wait for that trade to come to you. Trade hasn't came to us yet. Liquidity here hasn't gone hit. So for one, I wouldn't have taken this first level of liquidity, guys, because of this overextension. Look how far price dropped down from this point. This is for sure no brainer. You wouldn't have taken this trade here because price came down about like 2,200 pips right here. And even if you were to measure it from the nearest high right here, it still dropped down 1,900 pips. So either way, this liquidity here would not have been taken. I mean, price pretty much knocked out all the liquidity right here. You guys can see all of these levels right here. That pretty much just got wiped out. Price came down and it wiped out all the liquidity right there. And it looks like, I mean, now price may be shifting back up or it may continue dropping back lower. I mean, who really knows what's going to happen next? Realistically, price isn't going anywhere. You can see over here on the clean chart that price is just, it's making a slow climb before maybe it comes right back down. Or makes a slow climb and then continues climbing from there, right? There's a lot of different scenarios here, guys. There's no one way to look at this thing. Here comes Muhammad. Muhammad said, I need you to teach me how to do live trading. I mean, at this point, I don't know what to say to the guy. Guys, if I've told you exactly what to do and you don't listen to anything I'm saying, I just don't want to work with you at that point. Here, let's give him the links one more time. He can do what he wants with it. I'm going to send them to the other Aaron. Or is the other Aaron here? Coughing Aaron? I'm going to send them to the other Aaron. I don't know if we still have. If you guys remember the, let me make sure I don't miss anything. I don't want it. Yeah, Aaron, if you're still on here, I'm just looking at all the memes that people have made. Oh, there's a good one here. Oh, this is perfect right here, CC. Let me see if I could. Oh crap, I just moved it. This one is perfect. That's one that CC made. Yeah, I'm gonna send him to send this one. Aaron, POV CC when you watch the train, 7 years strong. I don't know if Aaron is on here. I know Aaron's here on, he's on the live streams. He just doesn't talk. He's probably back there coughing. He used to. Anyways, we're still looking for the sell signal here, guys. I know we're kind of going off topic and kind of screwing around a bit, but there's nothing for us to take here. 748 right now. The volatility is decent still. It's still at 18. So I'm looking for it to hopefully pick back up, but we need the sell signal here to come up. So once we get the sell signal, we can start looking for a possible entry. We have some profits over here from Johnny. Johnny locked in 1,083 for the day. Nice work, Johnny. Solid profits right there. Looks like you might have taken like 1 or 2 trades, full TPs. So great work right there. Nice. Yeah. So Andrew actually took the V1 earlier back to open. So we took the V1 variation as it came down back to, or as it came up or down from that area. So solid profits right there. And there's nothing here. The volatility is super dead. I'm hoping it picks up. It's 7:50 right now, so we got about 10 minutes. We got 10 minutes for volatility to pick up. It's not looking like it's picking up right now, so I'm hoping we get something, but I don't think we will, not today. The volatility did pick up for a bit, as you guys can see over here. Market opened at 6:30 right here. Price pushed up. I mean, it was mixed volatility. Price kind of spiked up a little bit, consolidated, pushed up. Our only entry that we could have taken happened right here, if you guys remember. This would have been the entry that we would have taken if we were following. I mean, this is the only official entry that kind of came up today that unfortunately we weren't able to take. There's actually two entries that came up today, but we weren't able to take either of them. So for this one over here, this was the first one. Price was overextended. We didn't take it. Hit TP. The second one, we had a sell signal right here. Price dropped below. This candle came down and this retraced up. So this was the next entry. The only problem with this one right here was that the red candle before it was just too huge, right? So unfortunately, it didn't meet criteria there as well, even though that did hit TP. I know a lot of you guys here did take the trade, but I didn't take it. So they're not going to count as, official trades. The only official trades that come up here and that actually count are the ones that I take personally. So if I don't take the trades, even though they do hit TP, they're not counting as trades for today. The only trades will count if I take them. So, all right, there's nothing here right now. We had a pending sell signal here. I was hoping that would close because that would be our, that would be our gimme for the momentum, but didn't end up closing, and now price just keeps going sideways. See, we got some profits over here from Randy. Randy took a speculative trade earlier for his sell. His price was dropping. Total profit of 427 for the day. Nice work, Randy. Yeah, solid profits right there. So I think tomorrow September 1st? No, it's 31st. Okay. So we're getting close to September, guys. This summer, these summer conditions are gonna start to wear off soon. As you guys can see, there's no volatility in the market. It's like literally flat with little to no movement. Right here, this is normal because it's summer. So summer conditions, you're gonna get a lot of these flat movements like this where price kind of just stays flat. September is in 2 days. So in 2 days, fall season is going to start. Once fall season starts, hopefully it starts to, the market starts to pick up a little bit. Right now, it's still very slow. There's not really too much for us to work with. I think we've only taken one trade let me see how many trades I've taken this week so far. So for the week so far, I've taken about, let's see, one trade right here, or two trades actually. So I've taken two trades right there. And that was it. So I didn't take any trades on Monday, and then I took two trades yesterday. So I'm only up two trades for this week so far. As you guys can see, the volatility is very low. I'm not able to take very many trades. The thing is, we looked back at the previous data, which it kind of lines up with how it was moving this year. So if you look back, and we looked back earlier, so we looked back at let's see, August 30th of 2000. Let's see if we took any trades this day last year, August 30th. So August 30th of last year, we took 0 trades. So there's no surprise here, right? There's no trades for us to take today. You look back on my live trading session from August 30th, 2022. I took no trades this day either. So I didn't take any trades that day. Let's see, August 30th of 2021. And this is actually pretty cool. I didn't even realize to look back at this. So August 30th of 2021, we actually I took a pretty good amount of trades that year, but this was like post-COVID. So August 31 of 2021, I took 4 trades, made about 2,000 this day last year on this account. I had multiple accounts back then already, so I've been trading multiple accounts for a while now. But yeah, so 2021 was decent. 2022, I didn't take any trades. 2023. Doesn't look like I'm going to be taking any trades today either. So it's kind of cool to look back on this at this data. We have Samir's profits over here. So let's see. So we got Samir's profits right here, total profit of 520 for the day. Nice work, Samir. And we got Nelly over here, total profit of 1,228 for the day. Nice work, Nelly. Yeah, solid profit right there too. So, I mean, you guys overall did pretty good. A lot of you guys just took trades off my analysis. I kind of told you guys where price was going, gave you guys some hints of some possible entries. I even showed you guys some of these entries right here as well for some momentum pullback scalps that I didn't take myself, but looks like some of you guys here did take these trades. So I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here did make profits off my analysis today. I didn't take any trades myself, so I don't really have anything to show for today. I'll just take a screenshot of my MC4. Don't really have anything on there, but just for show. So you guys can see over here, literally took no trades. So yeah, so you guys can see right here, here's my account. Just to be transparent with you guys, I don't want you guys to think that I'm taking trades, because I feel like a lot of you guys think I'm taking trades behind the scenes. Sometimes I am. So sometimes I'm taking trades if the market is providing that opportunity. Like, for example, if there's a liquidity push that's solid, I would take it. That's like a trade that I may take. I may tell you guys I'm taking it, or I may not, depending on how risky it is. But just me being transparent with you guys can see here, I took no trades today. No history data for today. And I just do this to show you guys that you don't have to take trades every day, right? For the week, I'm doing pretty solid. For the day, nothing today. But yeah, if you guys have any profit to send in, feel free to send them in. If there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put your questions in the chat. It's 7:56 right now. I'm not expecting any entries to come up anytime soon. We got 3 minutes till 8, so I'm not really expecting some like crazy movement to happen for me to take any entry here. There's no liquidity nearby. If anything, if liquidity was nearby, it would be okay to maybe take liquidity push, but right now we just don't have anything. If there was liquidity sitting up here, that'd be great. I would have taken it, but there just wasn't. Yeah, there's no liquidity here on the 10. There's 1 minute liquidity right here, which obviously I wouldn't take. But if you guys are applying the original liquidity strategy that we used to take, there technically would have been an entry like right there, right? Because they're right next to each other. But all right, so let me take a look at everybody else's profits. So let's see, we've got, yeah, C6 nailed it. We've got Rashida over here, total profit of 800 for the day. Nice work, Rashida, all wins. So she got all wins right there on her top step, and then her MC4 account, total profit of 873 for the day, all wins as well. Nice work, Rashida. Yeah, you did great today. We got Nathan over here, total profit of 720 for the day. Nice work, Nathan. He took that sell earlier that came up. We got Natasha over here, total profit of 926 for the day. Nice work, Natasha. Yeah, profit's profit, guys. If you guys can pull profit from this market, then, you're doing great. I gave you guys analysis, so there was trades that you guys could have taken if you wanted to, but for me personally, you guys know how I trade. I'm not going to give you guys anything risky. If I tell you guys I'm taking a trade, it's going to be a quality trade that I'm almost like 100% sure is going to hit. So if I don't think it's for sure, I'm not going to tell you guys. I'm not here to lead you guys into a risky path. I'm here to lead you guys on a guaranteed path, basically. I basically want to guarantee your guys' success. So if you guys just, stick to the game plan, don't FOMO, just take the trades that I take. You guys you're basically guaranteeing your success at trading if you guys just focus on what I'm doing. You guys can take more riskier trades. The risk will work in your favor sometimes it'll go against you, but If you guys just want to have a consistent streak, then, you know, just focus on quality moves. So, and that's kind of what I'm doing, guys. Like for me, like one of the big differences with trading is when I wasn't making a lot of money trading, I would take a lot of risks, right? Like you might be in that position. If you guys are a new trader and you want to make a lot of money trading right away, you take a lot of risks. You start to FOMO, you start to overtrade, you start to make a lot of mistakes. For me, I don't really care about the profits anymore. Like when I trade, I just care about winning. Like my main goal here is to win. So if I just keep winning every day and I never lose, then, you know, the profits are all automatic. And then also, if you guys have seen my accounts, I have like 9 accounts now, or like almost 10 accounts. I added another funding company to my copier. So I'm doing another funding company that Patricia mentioned to me. I'm not going to tell you guys which one it is yet until like I'm confirmed that they're good and they pay out. But I pretty much added 2 more funding companies to my copiers. I'm back on TFF. I've had a bad experience with them prior, so I'm hoping this experience is going to be a lot better. And then also I added 1 more that Patricia referred to me. So I'll see how they are. I mean, if that's the case, I might have like 15 funded accounts at that point, because I have like 4 FTMOs. I'm gonna have to merge those back into 1 account because it's just pointless having them split up. And then I have my MFFs, 3 MFFs, and then I have 1 TFF, which is probably going to be 3 or 4, and then the other funding company as well. So I'm just stacking funding companies at this point, guys. And you guys will see. So like, for example, here are my profits for the week so far. This is just from like 1 or 2 trades. So, you know, if I add 2 more accounts to here, it's just going to keep multiplying. So just stick to quality over quantity and you guys should be perfectly fine. At that point, you can start stacking accounts as well. Yeah, Rashida said her buy is playing out. She gave it a re-entry. Nice. Let me scroll up real quick. Let's see. Randy said, I think I saw someone saying contracts change for September, but can't find the message for FTMO. So contracts change every month, Randy. I'm not sure if that, I think that's what you're referring to. I don't think they're talking about lot sizing. Because if they're talking about lot sizing, then they would talk about, it would say lot size, not contracts. They don't trade contracts on FTMO. FTMO uses lots because they're indices. If you're talking about contracts, that would be like futures. So Top Step, if they talk about contracts, then that would be the size. But if you're talking about FTMO, then that's different because they're lot size. They're based off leverage. So every month the contract changes. If you type in the YM right here, and you drop this down, you can see that there's a contract futures for September, contract futures for December, March, etc. They change every month or every couple months, depending if you're doing the quarterly or the monthly or the yearly. These are the contracts for that specific asset. It doesn't matter for us because we're trading continuous. We don't trade options. So if you're trading options contracts, then it would matter because your options are going to expire at the end of the month. But and then a new one starts. But if FTMO is referring to it, I don't think they're talking about, you know, lot sizing. Yeah, you're fine, Randy. I know there's a little confusion there because futures and futures and options, they call their lot size in contracts. And then if you're trading Forex, stock, like partial stocks or indices, they're called lot sizes. So contracts just expire like at the end of every month. So yeah, you should be good. All right. CJ said he's been backtesting momentum pullback during fall season by looking at last year's live videos and cannot wait until the market movers are back from summer vacation. Yeah, no, exactly. I agree too, CJ. CJ said he was able to pinpoint that the market picks up specifically the first or second week after Labor Day. Yeah. So we just got to tough it through this market, guys. You know, this market kind of sucks right now, but we just got to tough through it. And then, you know, eventually the market is going to, it's going to pick back up. Might not happen right now, but it's going to pick back up eventually. The volatility is kind of picking up right now a little bit. If you guys have noticed, the market started to pick up a little bit after 8. I wouldn't say it's like super, I wouldn't say that it's super like reliable, but the market has been picking up a little bit after 8. Not a lot, but it's been picking up a little bit more. So you can see right here, it's 8:04. Market volatility picked up a little bit, but it is after 8 o'clock. So I'm not looking to take anything here. So, all right, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we'll wrap this up for the day. Unfortunately, there was no entries for me to take. Nice. Mercibah said his first week on his funded account. Solid, Mercibah. Which funding company did you end up getting funded on, Mercibah? I know you're trying like a bunch of different ones. I know you're on FTMO for a while. Hopefully it's FTMO. I'm hoping so, because FTMO is like obviously the most reliable. If it's not, it's completely fine. But congrats to you, Mercibah, getting your funded account. I know it's been a long time coming, but I'm glad you finally got to that point. But yeah, other than that, guys, I don't think there's any other questions here. So yeah, and CJ mentioned Labor Day is Monday, so we don't have long to go. Yeah, so I'll give you guys an update with like what's going to happen next week. Next week is Labor Day, so it's going to be a holiday. Obviously, no trades for us to take, but I think that's about it. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. You guys can email me, Sean@KodiKaiTrades.com. Nice. So Mercibah did get funded on FTMO. Solid. Sorry, Mercibah. It looks like the Nightbot deleted your comment. I'm gonna have to fix that. I'm just gonna take the Nightbot off. It's kind of pointless. But yeah, nice work, Mercibah, getting funded on FTMO 100K. If you guys are new here, just make sure that you guys, if you guys want to learn the strategy. So for example, if you guys want to learn the strategies that we just covered, like this one over here and this one over here, just go to our website, KodiKaiTrades.com, click on unlock your free access. You'll get access to the course. This is what the course looks like. If you want to learn that specific strategy, go down to module number 4.0. It's called the momentum pullback scalp strategy. Click on that there, and it'll give you the video explaining how that strategy is applied. So you click on that there, it'll take you to the YouTube. And then it'll pretty much give you the breakdown of how it's done. So, I mean, this is all completely free. If you guys want to watch the video, just go on the website, check it out, and it'll be there for you to watch. Also, if you guys are new here as well, make sure that you guys go to the YouTube channel. If you guys haven't, just subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on notifications. I go live about 6 or 7 times a week. Whenever I go live, if you guys are subscribed and notifications are turned on, this is free as well. Just make sure that you have that turned on so YouTube will email you when I go live. Sometimes I'll have some private one-on-ones with people. Sometimes I'll just randomly go on live and I won't tell anybody, but you guys will get an email from YouTube if you guys are subscribed to this. So, all right, guys, other than that, I think that's about it for today. If there's any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session. So, all right.